Hey there. If you're getting into enterprise information architecture, you need to know that the game has completely changed. I mean, it's not just about drawing diagrams of systems anymore, not by a long shot. Today, we're going to lay out the actual blueprint for what it means to be a modern enterprise architect, a leader who doesn't just build systems, but builds with responsibility. So here's the game plan. First, we'll talk about this new mandate for architects. Then, we're going to build our blueprint piece by piece with 4 pillars: governance, change leadership, ethical AI, and sustainable design. And at the end, we'll put it all together to see the big picture. All right, first things first. Why this massive shift? Well, it's pretty simple. A static map of your IT landscape just doesn't cut it anymore. Businesses are navigating chaos, and they need more than a map maker. They need a strategic guide. That's the new job description. And this slide really nails the difference. You know, the old way, the traditional EA, was all about documenting what's already there to maybe save a few bucks. It's reactive. But the responsible architect? That's a whole different animal. You're a strategist now, actively using things like governance, ethics, and sustainability to actually transform the business and lead it into the future. Okay, so let's start building. Every great building needs an unshakable foundation, right? Well, for the responsible enterprise, that foundation is advanced governance. And don't think of this as boring red tape. Think of it as the bedrock of control and stability that lets you innovate safely and move fast without, breaking everything. At the heart of modern governance is this acronym, GRC: governance, risk, and compliance. The key word here is integrated. It's about weaving these 3 things together so the organization can hit its goals, handle all the curveballs the world throws at it, and, most importantly, do it all with integrity. And the great thing is, you're not starting from scratch. There are proven frameworks out there, like this GRC capability model. You can see it's a constant cycle. You learn about your context, you align your strategy to it, you perform the actions, and then you review how it all went. It's a continuous feedback loop that just keeps making the organization smarter. Now, let's zoom in on the R in GRC for a second, risk. This is where international standards like ISO 31000 are so valuable. They give everyone a common language to talk about risk. It provides principles, a framework, and a process that works every time. For an architect, these aren't just documents. They're the tools you use to build a truly resilient company. All right, so our foundation is poured and solid. But what good is the most perfectly designed building in the world if nobody wants to move in? You can architect the best system imaginable, but if people don't adopt it, it's a failure. That's why the second pillar is all about the human side of things, leading change. And just like with governance, there are roadmaps to help you here too. A real classic is John Cotter's 8-step process. It's just a brilliant logical flow for getting people on board. You start by making the change feel urgent, you build a core team to guide it, and you create these short-term wins to build momentum. It's a masterclass in turning resistance into enthusiasm. So what does that look like in your day-to-day? Well, RDoC boils it down to these 5 actions. And notice how people-focused this is. You're gathering data from users, managing change, but look at that last one. Provide stakeholders with automated insights. That's the power move right there. That's when you stop being a system administrator and start being a strategic advisor who leads the conversation. Now for our third pillar. And this one is probably the most talked about, most defining technology of our lifetime: artificial intelligence. For a responsible architect, AI is not just another tool in the toolbox. It's this incredibly powerful force that absolutely requires a strong, well-defined ethical compass to guide it. Seriously, just let that question sink in for a minute. As we build AI into everything, from our supply chains to our customer service, we are programming a moral code into our businesses, whether we mean to or not. And guess who's often got their hands on the keyboard? The architect. The pressure to get this right is just immense. Harvard Business School Online lays out the ethical minefield pretty clearly here. You've got algorithmic bias, where bad data just automates unfairness at a massive scale. You've got privacy issues, new cybersecurity threats. Each of these things isn't just a philosophical debate. For the responsible architect, they are critical design constraints you have to solve for. So how on earth do you navigate that minefield? Well, you start with some simple, powerful guardrails. Think of these as your North Star. First, the human first maxim. It's basically the Hippocratic Oath for technology. First, do no harm. Second, the responsible mandate. This says it's not enough to avoid bias. Your systems have to be designed to actively fight it and stay secure. These have to be totally non-negotiable. And that brings us to our fourth and final pillar, the one that makes sure what we're building is going to last: sustainable design. And this is so much more than just a green initiative. This is a core part of designing a resilient, future-proof enterprise. Now, to really talk about this, we need to be on the same page with the language. It kind of builds on itself. Green IT is the baseline. Energy efficiency, recycling your old servers. Green IS is the next level up, where you're actively using technology to help with sustainability goals. But the real goal, the big one, is digital sustainability, where you're using digital tools to make things better for the environment, for society, and for the economy. It's the whole package. I love this slide because it's such a powerful mindset shift. Thinking you are green sounds like you've crossed a finish line. It's a checkbox. But greening, that's a process. It's a commitment to continuous improvement. For an architect, that's a much more powerful concept. It means you're always looking for ways to design better, more efficient, and more responsible systems. Okay, we've laid the foundation and we've put our 4 pillars in place. So now let's step back and take a look at the complete blueprint we've just created for the modern enterprise. It all starts with that solid foundation of governance. This is what gives you stability and control in a chaotic world. On top of that foundation, we need the engine of change leadership, because the best plans are worthless if no one adopts them. Guiding every move we make is that vital ethical AI compass, ensuring that our technology is always serving humanity. And finally, we wrap the entire structure in sustainability, which ensures that what we build today is resilient enough to thrive tomorrow. So here it is, the big takeaway. The job isn't about designing systems anymore. The modern architect designs the responsible enterprise of tomorrow. For all of you studying to take on this role, the question isn't just about what you can build. It's about how you will lead. The blueprint is right here. The real question is, are you ready to pick it up and start building?